I am covering the area that was damaged by the raccoons as they went in and out of the attic. And this will also prevent further entry by raccoons. They won't be able to get underneath it or behind it or pull it out like they did with the old wood siding. So hopefully it'll be a permanent fix until such time as siding is done on the house. There is a plan to replace all the old wood siding with something else. But this is intended to be temporary until that happens, to make sure that raccoons do not get back into the attic again. I spent a couple of days cleaning up all the old raccoon poop and other unmentionables that were in there, and then made it ready to receive fiberglass insulation, which was blown in yesterday. They blew in about that depth of insulation, equivalent to R60. Up-to-date regulations require that in the attic. And they also filled the rafter bays where the insulation had been pushed down to the bottom of the rafter bay by the raccoons, exposing the ceiling of the living room and the bedroom in the house to freezing temperatures, basically. So this, what we're doing with the insulation especially, should make the house a lot warmer in the winter, a lot more efficient to heat, use less propane, and it will also feel more comfortable because the walls and the ceiling will now be warm. Actually, if you're there, you can hold something for me. Can you hold this right there for me? This was a kind of an involved little project. I put up 3 lifts of scaffolding so that I could inspect areas that looked to be where the trim was rotting out. Once I did that, I was able to inspect this area and also gain access to the attic above the main living area, which is where raccoons have been living for who knows how long, years. I did a number of repairs in the attic. I blocked up the ends of the rafter bays so the insulation would stay inside the rafter bays. I put a new exhaust duct in for the upstairs bathroom because the raccoons had shredded the existing duct. And then I removed all the messed up insulation, mostly raccoon poop and pee. Then a crew came in yesterday and blew insulation up to R60, about 20 inches of loose insulation in the attic, and also in this sub-attic, which had also been trashed by the raccoons, and where I also had to do extensive repairs to the insulation in the living room wall that had been destroyed and removed by the raccoons that got trapped in there. Today I installed this very shiny metal roofing, quite heavy metal roofing, to seal the whole area up, make it weatherproof for the winter, and also to prevent any re-entry by the raccoons, or anything else for that matter. Squirrels, chipmunks, you name it, mice. It's intended to be just a temporary fix to keep the building rodent-proof and weather-tight for the winter. So that's a hatch that I made, an opening into the attic above this part of the living room, because it was not accessible from the other part, so this had to be treated separately. Also needed extensive repairs. The siding had already been damaged in this area by raccoons that were trapped in about the area above the porch and were trying to get out and were chewing their way through. But I needed to get in there in order to seal off the ends of the rafter bays to prevent the blown in insulation from just shooting down into the attic above the porch. There was an arbor here, quite an elaborate arbor with a lot of material in it. Well, it was in very sad shape. This structure is rotting away. It also provides the raccoons easy access. They climb up the downspout and the eaves trough, and then they gain access to the attic through holes that they made in the siding. It's easy to see that there have been attempts to prevent the raccoons from gaining entry to the attic space, but they have failed to address the persistence of raccoons. That was my first effort in this part of the house, was to remove that arbor. It made a big difference. It really opened up the space considerably. I think I'm going to have lunch.